Okay, so you are able to see my screen?
Yes, Parag.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was telling about what is machine learning, right? So basically, machine learning. So there are a set of algorithms which is already uh, developed. So those algorithms are meant for solving different problems. Say example, uh, if you want to uh, predict numerical values, okay, based on the pattern. So you have a regression algorithms. If you have a uh, predict a categorical value, so you have a classification algorithm. There are many things when you go get into the machine learning. So in high level algorithms with the ability to learn without explicitly programmed, it's called machine learning. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning in which artificial neural networks adopt and learn from the vast amount of data. Deep learning is more about artificial neural networks, like how human brains works, something which is similar to like that. Okay, so Python has been used in these areas. Apart from these areas, we also used in building a web application as well as a thin application. Okay, that's all about basically what is Python programming. So now we'll understand the there are the some of the important concepts which we'll be using in Python day to day. Okay, so the very famous function used in Python is called a print. Okay, which will be used to most other times you will be using print function either to uh, pass some value. You can actually pass some string which will print, and also you can pass a variable. Whatever value that variable holds, it will print using the print function. Right. So let me and any programming language will have variables, right? Variable is nothing but a kind of container which will hold the some value. Okay, so I declared here a string variable. Okay, I can also declare say course price equal to some. Okay, so double quote if you provide, it will become a string value. Say for example I put 40,000. So it read for type based on the value you pass. I don't need to implicitly create a type for my variable, where means data type for my variable. Okay, so when I assign a string value to this variable, this becomes a string a variable of type string. When I assign a numerical value to the variable called course price, this becomes a integer type of the variable. Okay, data type of a variable. Okay, so how do you know what is the type of this variable? Okay, what is the data type of this variable? For that, you have a method called type. There is a method called type. If you pass a particular variable, it will return you the data type of the variable. Say example here city. If you just so you can actually, if you want to introduce new cell after this cell, you can use this insert cell. So I can just say print of I'm going to use a type function and pass my variable name. My variable name here is, I just try to find a course price. What is the type of this variable? It is saying print, a class print. So if you run this one, it says class string, that city name is. And also there is a one more important function called DAR, which will be very helpful. Like type is used to find a data type of your variable, right? Similarly, there is another function called DAR, which will return you uh, the properties or function associated to the particular object. Okay, here actually uh, city name is a, we say it's a string variable, but it's also an object actually, which has a set of function associated to that, because it is a string variable. It will have string function associated to that variable. Okay. So if you want to find out a particular variables or objects functions associated to that, you can use a function called DAR. If you say DAR of city name, it is going to return me the properties and functions associated to that variable. So you understand the difference between type, the function type and the DAR, right? Uh,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So just stop me wherever you have any doubt. Okay. So I'll just go slowly. And then, so we just learned about variables. What is variable? Uh, and what is the two function called type and DAR. Now let's understand data types. Okay, so again, data type is uh, mainly any programming language. It will have a data types. So data types of three broad categories at least. Okay, so numeric data types, string data types, and booleans. So boolean we have a true and false, and numeric, so we have a integer, float, long, and complex. So string we have a char and okay, it is string value. If it is individual character, it's a char. Okay. So we'll just uh, start with the numerical. Okay. So if I assign a order quantity equal 5, now this becomes a integer. Okay. So I'm sorry. So, so if you have a whole number, then it become integer variable, integer type. Okay. So if you want to have a decimal points, then we can use a float data types. Just a minute, I'm getting one call. Okay, so sorry, I to take that call. That's right. Okay, so if you want to have a decimal points, we can declare like the 12 point to 5.0. So basically, the unit price of particular product. Then it will become considered as a floating type. If you want to specify a long integer, you can use the L. You can append L to your suffix of your number, then it becomes a long integer. And uh, to have a complex numbers, you can define 5 plus 4j, which is the first part is the real part and second is the imaginary part. Uh, I don't know where this is used, but just for information. So these are the different types is that there. So we mostly use floating numbers, which is allow decimal points, and integer for whole number. So if we just run this, it says invalid syntax. Long integer. Long integers in Python 3. That's it was working in maybe Python 3. Let's use small l. Instead of capital small l. So just drop. So then no need to use that key external the extra. So you can have a long number. You need to no need to specify that. That's what they say. I just say still it shows integer only. Okay, let's see. I will just check. Okay, and so it says integer, float, and this also it says integer. We will find out how to declare the long one. So generally L should work. Maybe it is deprecated in the 3 version, latest version. And string variables, you can declare basically double quote. If you use a double quote, even if you use single quote also, it will be considered as a string variable. Strings basically represents a sequence of character, right? So, and if you have a different um, two different string variable, if you want to concatenate, you can use the plus symbol. Okay, plus symbol will act if it is a two. So basically, if the both this, say example, if you want to concatenate, or maybe if you use plus symbol between two variables, if those variables are integer, it's going to act as a the addition operator, logical operator, like sorry, not a logic, arithmetic operation operator like plus symbol. But if you use between two string variables, it is going to act as a concatenation. So I declare first name as Arun and second name as Vijay. That's going to give me the uh, full name Arun Vijay. Okay, so again, if you want to know the data type of the variable, you can use type. So that's all about string data type. Boolean. So you need to use a two keyword. True, T is a caps, and false, F is a caps. So any the Boolean variables like Boolean values are uh, like true and false. So okay, this is concat functions. We'll see tomorrow. Okay. So true type of we try if we try to know if we try to find the uh, type of a true, it becomes a Boolean type. So that's what it says. Okay. So with this, I will wrap up today. So what we discussed today is functions. We'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow is a very important one, which is data structure or collection data types. So we discussed what is Python programming and different types of different distribution of Python, classic Python and Anaconda Python. Uh, how to use that, and we just discussed introduction of Python and the variables in Python, and the two important functions like type and DAR. And also we discussed about data types, numeric data types and string and Boolean data types. So we'll continue the remaining things from tomorrow. I don't know many people not joined today, so we'll accommodate them as well tomorrow. Right. What I will do is I will upload this video as well as I will send you this notebook file. So if you want to import this notebook file, what you need to do is just go to, once you open a Jupyter notebook, it will launch you this page, right? And it will basically from your user folder, whatever files are there, list here. If you want to say example, I send this file, okay, this I will send you this Python underscore fundamentals dot ipynb file. It's a notebook file. What you need to do is you need to use this option called upload, and you can navigate to that file and open. Then it will add it. It will add it to your uh, it will add it in your place. Then you can just click that notebook and you can open it. Then you can start running the code. Or you can, if you want to practice by yourself, that also fine. Any question?
Sorry, I have one question.
Yes.
Where do you recommend us to install it, on the desktop or on the VM?
Okay. For at least for learning a language, I think you should install it on your local. Okay. Because what
Okay.
we do is even so anyway we'll be installing it on VM, because to work with the PySpark, like a Spark with the Spark, we have to install it in VM.
Okay.
But most of the coding development we'll do from the Windows machine. So even we develop PySpark program, we'll write a code here and we'll just run there.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Part of our Spark installation will be installing Python in VM. That will be there. Maybe for learning and development, you can do it in your Windows machine.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, then we will see you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.